Hello, welcome to the Barn Hall. Today, the 9th of May 2015. My name is Catherine Hossack. I'm the Secretary and Leader of Promotions for the Bookham Vanguard Neighbourhood Forum. It has been a while coming, but the Neighbourhood Development Plan for Bookham is finally in the last stages of being produced. Today, we're ready to show you the first draft of the planning policies the Forum have created for Bookham up to the year 2026. As we've not promoted the NDP heavily for the last 9 months or so, while we've been working on the policies, we thought it might be a good idea to revisit the reasons why we're doing a neighbourhood development plan for Bookham. The Localism Act 2011 provides communities with an opportunity to create a neighbourhood development plan for their area. A Neighbourhood Development Plan, or NDP, establishes planning policies for the development and use of land in the defined neighbourhood area. The plan can be detailed or general, depending on what local people want. It gives local residents the opportunity to shape their own village or town space, including things like what new homes or offices should be built, where they should go, what they should look like, and how the shopping centre and local employment should evolve. In summary, a neighbourhood development plan allows local people to get the right type of development for their community. However, the legislation is clear. It cannot be used to try to stop development. A neighbourhood development plan must be in general conformity with the latest local plan and planning policies adopted by the local planning authority. The neighbourhood development plan for our village has been prepared in consultation with the residents and will be agreed or otherwise by the community at large by means of a referendum. It won't come into force unless you vote for it. The aim of today's event is to launch the first draft of the policies to the Bookham community. They're not finished yet, but we hope we've put enough publicity around the village for everyone who wishes to come along and see the work that's been done so far. The NDP is a community project and cannot exist without the input of local residents. The policies are based on what you, the community, have told us over the period of the Bookham Vision and Bookham Vanguard projects, including the views of the Neighbourhood Forum members, 50 or so local people who have worked for 2.5 years to reach this point. They're supported by background evidence gathered in the community in the recent and immediate past by the Bookham Vanguard Task Force experts, Bookham Residents Association, Mole Valley District Council and Surrey County Council. So what do the planning policies in the NDP aim to achieve for Bookham? The main aims are to encourage development, but only if it produces the right types of homes the community needs. It safeguards the environment we enjoy and cherish, identifies improvements needed for facilities and services in line with any increase in population, and protects local businesses and employment, especially in the High Street area. The NDP policies cover 4 main planning topics: environment, housing, infrastructure and local economy. Representatives from the Bookham Vanguard Task Force, who have specialised in each area, have created 3 more presentations which explain the policies for each section. Thank you very much for taking the time to come along today and hopefully for your input. For more information on the background of the policies, further timing of the plan and to put your views forward, please go to the main hall where members of the forum will be on hand to answer your questions. If you do not already receive regular updates from us by email, please sign up in the main hall to receive a copy of the completed plan as soon as it's available. Please stay seated. The next presentation will begin shortly.
Good morning. My name is Jeff Wright. I'm the leader of the economy group responsible for formulating the policies in the NDP. By training, I'm a chartered surveyor, and I spent most of my working life in Covent Garden. The policies for the local economy section of the plan are based upon the information we have collated from Bookham Vision and the creation of the NDP, including focus group research and survey of the high street usage. You have told us that you value our independent shops. You do not wish to see a large supermarket come to Bookham, and that all businesses in Bookham are valued, and that employment in the village should be safeguarded and enhanced. 21st century retailing is changing. Budget supermarkets are competing with the established operators. Internet retailing and click and collect and the withdrawal of the banking and estate agency businesses and other office-based functions have affected high streets throughout the country. We are not exempt, but our retail centre remains fundamentally strong and highly valued by our residents. The threat of competition is intense, and so there is a need for policies to safeguard our retail centre so that it continues to serve our community in the long term. Consequently, we are focused upon what the plan describes as the retail centre, which is essentially the High Street and the southern part of Church Road down to the Deborah shop. In essence, the policies for the retail centre aim to improve and enhance the vitality and viability of the businesses, with a focus upon local facilities and services that meet the day-to-day needs of our community. Development that will lead to the loss of existing floor space will not be permitted. For example, a change of use from shopping to hot food takeaway will not be permitted. Alternatively, a change of use to restaurant and cafe will be supported, subject of course to prior notification. Lower Shot falls outside the retail centre, and redevelopment will be encouraged in the plan, provided that it is a mixed-use scheme, possibly including replacement of the existing retail floor space, social, healthcare, cultural and community uses, as well as housing for both affordable, rented and privately owned homes. Local retail units outside the retail centre are subject to the same pressure and competition as those within it. They offer a mix of convenience stores, restaurants, fast food, specialist shops and of course garages. The services they provide are considered to be an important asset to the village and should be protected. Proposals that would result in the loss of an outlet outside the retail centre should take into account the role that these shops and services provide to our community. Any proposals for a change would need to demonstrate that the unit was no longer required. Applications for change of use from shopping to hot food takeaway would not be permitted, except at Beckley's Parade, where proposals will be considered on their merits. As for the retail centre, no large supermarkets or other large retail, for example, a click and collect store, will be permitted. We have a number of businesses and industrial sites that provide a limited but nevertheless important number of jobs within the village. These sites will be well known to you and include, for example, the industrial estate opposite the station. Many of these businesses occupy ageing buildings which do not meet modern standards, and access is often not conducive for modern transport requirements. Some sites generate conflict with HGVs travelling through parts of the village on unsuitable roads. Competition from better quality, more accessible units in surrounding towns is high. The government also encourages housing to be built on brownfield sites, formerly in employment use. Replacement of these businesses for other types of employment use within the village setting would be supported. Where change is considered, we will seek to maintain the same number of jobs on the site, but perhaps releasing extra land for housing in order to fund that change. Proposed change of use must demonstrate that the current business is no longer needed and alternative business users of the premises have been fully explored without success. By fully explored, we mean the active marketing of the site or building for at least 12 months, quoting realistic levels of rent or price that properly reflect its current activity and the local market. Proposals must provide the equivalent employment opportunity. Only then, if it is proven to be surplus to requirements for industrial or business use, will redevelopment for housing in whole or part be supported. All of these requirements are set out in the 4 core policies of the NDP Local Economy section, which in summary aim to protect and enhance our high street and safeguard local employment on the industrial or quasi-industrial estates. If you have any questions on the content of this presentation or would like to offer some feedback, please go to the main hall after these presentations have finished, where members of the forum will be available to answer your question. Thank you for your listening.
Good morning. My name is Michael Aegis. By profession, I am a Chartered Civil Engineer and a Fellow of the Institution of Civil Engineers. I am Infrastructure Leader on Bookham Vanguard and am also Vice Chairman of the Bookham Residents Association, responsible for infrastructural matters. As part of the latter, I am a member of the Bookham Flood Forum, attempting to resolve drainage problems around the village. In this presentation, I shall be dealing with environmental as well as infrastructure matters. Regarding the local environment, what you have told us through Bookham Vision survey, Bookham Vanguard research and subsequent public meetings is that you like the openness and semi-rural aspect of the village. In developing the policies, one of the main aims is to protect trees and hedgerows wherever infill development is allowed. In terms of infrastructure, we all appreciate that the existing roads and drainage are considerably under strain through many years of infill development without the incremental improvement in the physical infrastructure of the area. You would like to see education and healthcare that is adequate to serve the increasing population. In addition, the village has many community facilities which are much valued and you would like to see protected. The environment policies in the draft plan have identified many open spaces around the village that should be protected. At the moment, these are not protected by existing local planning policy. This map shows the open spaces we would aim to protect as part of the NDP. To see this in more detail, and the list of each area numbered here, please go to the Environment and Infrastructure stand in the main hall. As well as identifying open spaces for protection, the environmental policies provide for increased protection for trees and hedgerows. The third environmental policy aims to ensure that new development demonstrates good quality design and respects the character and appearance of the surrounding area. As previously mentioned, Bookham has suffered from incremental infill development without supporting improvements in our infrastructure over many years, which has resulted in putting roads, drainage, schools and surgeries under pressure. Without development on the Greenbelt in Bookham, this style of incremental development is likely to continue for many more years. It is very difficult to show that any one small development will be the straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of the services we use, but the plan hopes to put in place some policies that might contribute towards improving the situation. The plan also provides protection of local village facilities and a policy that encourages their improvement. It is possible to register these facilities as assets of community value to protect them further for the future, and the plan proposes this should be done by owners and managers. To improve our existing infrastructure using planning policy, the plan will highlight exactly which highways and drainage infrastructure issues should be prioritised. To get some more feedback on this, we are asking you to fill out a form in the main hall today to prioritise the infrastructure issues that have been identified in our research. If you consider there are any other problem areas not listed, please let us know. The prioritised list will allow us to direct community infrastructure levy funds collected from developers in the right direction. If you need to know more about developer contributions such as SIL, please ask a member of the infrastructure team in the main hall. Although the SIL contributions will not be sufficient to fund many of the improvements needed, it will provide leverage for the community to attract further funding from infrastructure providers and local authorities. All the points covered here are set out in 8 policies in the draft plan. For further information, or if you have any specific questions about any of the topics covered here, please visit the infrastructure team in the main hall, where they will be glad to help. Thank you for your time today.
Hello, my name is Neil MacDonald. I am the leader of the housing group within Bookham Vanguard. The policies that we have developed for housing are based on what you have said through Bookham Village and through the consultation that we've carried out for the Neighbourhood plan. You have told us that we need more smaller homes to allow for older people to downsize from family homes and to enable younger families to get established in the village. There is strong statistical evidence to support both of these. We have a growing older population, and a bigger proportion of Bookham residents are over 65 than is the case for the rest of Mole Valley. Moreover, Mole Valley is older on average than the rest of Surrey, which in turn is older than the rest of England. We also have fewer people in their 20s and 30s. Most of the new homes that have been built over the last 10 years have been infill and back garden developments. A large proportion has been 4 or 5 bedroom properties. It is perhaps a missed opportunity that so many large homes have been built near the centre of the village, given that there is such high demand for smaller homes that people can downsize to, homes that are within easy walking distance of the shops. It is perhaps surprising that so many larger homes have been built when Mole Valley has a policy of favouring 2 and 3 bedroom properties. The practical reality is that that policy is too often circumvented. We can try to stop this by putting clear and unambiguous policies in our neighbourhood development plan. What we propose is that all new homes built within the central area should be 3 bedrooms or smaller, and that at least half should be 2 bedrooms. We propose to define the central area as being within easy walking distance of the high street. One potential boundary for the central area is shown in this slide. The red road is the A246. The yellow road above it and parallel to it is the lower road. The high street is in the centre. The boundary is still very much under discussion. We would welcome your views, so please come and see us on the stand in the main hall after this presentation. Outside the central area, we believe that 2 and 3 bedroom properties should still be the priority. We propose that on any development of 5 or more homes, at least half should be 3 or fewer bedrooms. It is also important that what is built is in keeping with the village and retains the sense of space and greenness that makes our village the attractive place that it is. We therefore propose to set out minimum spacings between buildings and to stipulate that the height of new homes is no higher than surrounding properties. We don't think that any new proposals for large developments are likely in the near future. However, we've recently had proposals put forward for more than 30 homes. And it's possible that Mole Valley's forthcoming local plan review could produce more. We therefore think that the plan should say something about larger scale developments. Now, it goes without saying that all of the other policies in the plan will apply to larger developments. Mole Valley's existing policies should also apply, for example, on the provision of open space in developments of 50 homes or more. And we're currently thinking whether there should be additional policies for larger sites. Again, we would welcome your ideas on this. Parking, particularly near the centre of the village, is a growing issue. Many of our roads were not designed for on-street parking, and even a few parked cars can cause real difficulties. We therefore propose to include some stronger requirements for off-street parking with all new homes. The intention would be to minimise the need for on-street parking, recognising that many families have 2, 3 or more cars. To help reduce traffic congestion, there's a strong case for encouraging more to cycle rather than to drive, but that won't happen if people have nowhere to keep their bike. We therefore propose that all homes are designed to include storage for bikes. Similarly, wheelie bins need to go somewhere, and unless proper provision is made for them, they can be an eyesore. We have tried to encapsulate all of this in 4 draft policies. These are on display in the main hall. Please come and talk with us about them. Thank you for coming today. Don't forget to keep up to date with our latest news through the Bookham Plan website. Thank you.